surveillance become too intrusive in society today. And yeah.
Alright, so I believe that video cameras should be everywhere, and there should be some kind of surveillance in every part of every kind of building, so that there's a view of every single action or event.
I believe that there should be no cameras anywhere used by the government and should only be used privately, because there's no real proof that crime rates drop.
I personally don't necessarily believe in video cameras everywhere, but it hasn't become too intrusive in society yet, so I believe that there could be more without it being a problem.
Yeah, I agree with Eric and Daniel to some extent, where the cameras shouldn't be everywhere. There should be some privacy, but as of right now, I don't believe that it's become too intrusive or invading in a lot of privacy. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I agree with Eric and Rebecca. Yeah, and the cameras have reduced crime in a way because they can be used in for evidence and trials to convict the criminal.
Yeah, I think that even if it doesn't necessarily prevent crime, I think it definitely helps in prosecuting and catching the perpetrator of the crime. And so, I think that is at least still helpful in our society.
That's what I believe. I don't think that it'll prevent crime. While I do believe that there should be cameras everywhere, I don't think that'll help prevent it. I think that'll help solve cases after the fact. So that that's what I think.
And in Chicago, they've integrated security cameras into different aspects of the city, and a little while back they managed to actually prove someone opened fire in the public bus and murdered somebody because there was a camera in the bus. And it shows that cameras are beneficial and saved a lot of time in the trial.
Yeah, and plus with the whole privacy issue, especially compared to 1984, it's not that intrusive, and especially since the cameras, at least in Chicago, the camera network was only in public places, and it was in places that people would expect the camera to be. And I feel like in public, you wouldn't do something that you don't want people to see. The whole issue with privacy is you want to do something and you don't want people to see it, I guess, or and so if you're in public, then you wouldn't really be doing those kinds of things anyway. So I feel like it shouldn't be that much of an issue if it's videos, if video cameras are in public.
Yeah, there's really nothing wrong with a camera watching in public if a cop or a civilian could just see you doing anyway.
Yeah, but there's a lot more concrete evidence in a video, physical video, than just someone saying that they were a witness to a crime. It's a lot more reassuring to say that it happened.
I think that if a perpetrator knows that there's a camera there, then that just provokes them to move somewhere else to perform the crime and just avoid the trial at all. So you can pretty much waste the government's and taxpayers' money to place cameras everywhere.
Well, if there's cameras everywhere, then they have nowhere else to move. If they want to escape the cameras, if there's nowhere for them to go without being seen, then they
But
just
if
might not
it's
do it.
everywhere, it also interrupts one's privacy.
To what
And they
extent
can't
do
sleep
you need
in their
your
own
privacy?
house if there's someone watching them the whole time. Have you ever tried to sleep when you know there's someone watching you at night?
That's quite an odd question. I can say I have not had someone watch me while I was asleep. However, me personally, I would say I wouldn't mind if, in this case, if the government had video cameras everywhere, I would believe that they are watching me for my own personal safety. That they are keeping watch on me and if something does happen, you know, as I said, I don't think it'll stop what's going to happen, but it may, you know, lead to the actual like arrest of the person who did it. So
I don't quite have the same belief as Daniel does. I prefer not to be watched at night, but the thing is that video cameras haven't gone to that point in our society yet. So in today's society, they're not too intrusive yet.
And I mean, well, there are like personal surveillance systems that people put in their homes for like security purposes, which I think is a bit much personally. I mean, but it's like with the person's own choice. Like, I mean, it's them recording themselves, I guess. So it's, I feel like if I feel like because people have different opinions, then at least with that sort of surveillance of the home, that it's their own choice, I guess, and they know that they are being watched. I guess because especially in 1984, people know they're being watched, at least for the most part, except for in the last chapter. But I mean, so I think that if it's like their choice, then I guess it could be okay. But I mean, for like the government, let's say, or the police to like watch, like what's going on inside a home, then it's kind of weird. I feel like, and yeah, I wouldn't really want someone to watch me while I sleep.
I mean, even if they didn't do anything with that, like surveillance, like even if they're just watching to make sure, like you're safe, and then afterwards, maybe like after the night, then they delete the recording or something. What, like, how about that? Would you still feel the same way
How
about
do you
that?
know that?
Well, this is hypothetical, hypothetical,
How do you know that?
because I'm making the hypothetical.
But you have no idea.
It's already
They could
inside
say
of hypothetical that there's cameras everywhere.
Okay.
Well, yeah, in 1984, like Julia and Winston are always afraid they're being followed, even in public places with recording devices, and they try to avoid that. And so I think like it's the laws in 1984 that are the problem, not the cameras themselves.
like the purpose of the cameras.
Yeah, the purpose.
Yeah, it's like also with the cameras in Chicago, they don't pick up sound unless it's like maybe gunshot or like glass breaking. So and it said because of like wiretapping laws. So there are laws in place to protect one's privacy to an extent, and how even though there's cameras, you don't like because with telescreens they're both recording you and also your voice and listening to what you're actually saying and everything. And so with a lot of cameras, at least in public places, they don't record your voice, so you still have some privacy. Even though you can't control. I mean, you can control like your actions in front of the camera, but I mean, you can still like say kind of whatever you want for the most part.
Well, I like agree with what Daniel said, like that it's the laws. Because I believe that obviously that there should be cameras everywhere, but I don't think it should go to the extent of 1984, where there's the laws, where like people can't love each other and all that stuff. That's the difference between having cameras everywhere and having laws that like just don't make sense, which is where we are right now.
So rather than 1984's malicious intent of like patrolling and making sure that everyone is like orthodox, you're saying that the cameras should be there to give a sense of security instead.
Yes.
Um,
Yes, well, obviously the cameras themselves are never intrusive because they don't have any real thought themselves. So it's always going to be the purpose for them that's intrusive and what they're used for.
Yeah.
I think that just about sums up
Yeah.
what we've talked about.
So, overall, I think, do you want to see the pros and cons?
Well, the pros um, for cameras is that like they prevent crime, they can use as evidence, and uh, they they give sense of people a sense of security. And the cons of having them is that they invade people's privacy, um, and could be used to like as abuse or